seen of late, haven't we, how Meghan Markle, the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, has tried to rebrand herself. You know, she's the all-encompassing busy mum, making a solid bolognese sauce. You remember that story? And then she regaled us with some insider secrets about her two children. Apparently, though, previously, she didn't want to regale us with anything, including pictures or including details of where those births took place, even though at that particular point she was still a member of the British monarchy, and that's normally things that they share. Desperate times call for desperate measures as ever, don't they? So let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today as ever, and lovely to see you. By the way, the big explosion on one of our recent videos was the BBC presenter Martine Croxall, who is now back on the BBC after breaking the impartiality rules. And we basically said to you, should she have kept her job, being so vocal about a former member of Parliament, our British Prime Minister at that time, the Right Honourable Boris Johnson. Many of you think she should go. Many of you now won't be paying your TV licenses. Well, what can I say? If they can't be impartial, should they be taking so much money from the national broadcaster? As ever, I'll leave that one with you to ponder. Back also to your breaking royal story of the day. This really centres on the fact that Meghan, is a rather confusing person. And, when you think about it, she contradicts herself at every single corner. This is because, she'll say one thing and then it's proven not to be the case. The suitcase girl debacle, the bimbo thing, everything she comes out with seemingly is in her own bubble. But the bigger problem now for her is she's got this brand new team which are trying to remarket her, as I say, as this nicer, friendlier, touchy-feely Meghan, particularly now that she has the podcast and she wants people to spend money to listen to her speak. Yes, not like here, you see, we're free. Best thing, isn't it, don't you think? But what is interesting to note is there is one simple thing that Meghan won't do for her brand new PR team, which is causing, once again, interruptions. But as ever, what is it? It already stems from the fact that if you saw that recent or heard about that recent podcast, she was disturbed, yes, by her mother, right? Her mother apparently FaceTimed or rang during the broadcast. As we told you before, all set up, all scripted, absolutely nothing spontaneous about that. Very similar to when Prince Harry walked in during a broadcast. Absolutely, it's all there to get headlines, to get ratings, to get people to download it. But of course, during that particular broadcast, she gushed about how her mum had been so wonderful in her upbringing, and that's a little bit dubious in itself if you read the background stories, particularly those that have been published. But one of the things that Meghan refuses to do, particularly in public at least, is reconcile with her estranged father, Thomas Markle. We know that it got very heated with a major legal fight with Meghan and the Mail on Sunday and the Daily Mail group, all about a letter that she'd written with a personal view that could have been seen by the public. She admitted that in the court. So, interesting debate there. Now, basically what I've been told, and as ever we have to say allegedly, is the reason why she doesn't want to reconnect with him is there's a deeper story there that people simply don't know about. Now, what can ever that mean? Now, it's interesting, isn't it? Because prior to her wedding to Prince Harry, she was very close, spoke about him openly on her blog, The Tig, and was gushing at every aspect. Seemingly, he did something wrong, which reignited a problem, and as that has now remained for the last 5 or so years. Interesting to note, though, that they believe if she wants to build her reputation back, that's her new PR team, that is the major factor, the sticking block within major parts of America, the fact that she simply cut off her father, even though he's gravely ill and recovering once again from a medical condition. More importantly, really, could it be that bad what he did? He made a few mistakes, but surely if you thought so much of him previously, you could overcome that. And while she claims to be a humanitarian, an activist, a loving mum, and all about family, then seemingly it's all about family on Meghan's terms. And even in this crisis times where her image is dented beyond repair in many respects, it seems that Meghan, or indeed Harry, will not back down and be paying any visits, phone calls or reconnecting anytime soon. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.